Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now in the last episode we did some fighting, and we helped out some sheep herders, and basically helped them find their sheep, or their dead sheep in some cases. And I did mention in the last episode that there may be a few more quests before we actually go to the main quest, and I actually looked it up, and there's about a dozen in total, one of which may actually require us to do the main story before we can actually do it. And then another one, if you recall in the last episode, I did a little bit of blacksmithing. Apparently that is the second part of the, or like the second branch of the wedding main quest. So basically you can either do the miller stuff, or you can do the blacksmithing stuff and get yourself into the wedding that way. So I'm not really sure what that's going to change if we do both branches, because we've already kind of done the miller path, and I do kind of want to do the blacksmithing path as well. So we may end up just trying to report the miller to the bailiff, like I was doing, and then we will just do the blacksmithing path. But I haven't quite decided. We'll just kind of see how it all goes. But as we tend to do in each episode, at the very beginning, we are going to do our perk points. As you can see, we have 11 in total, quite a bit, because I ran into a lot of teachers or trainers in the last episode. And I think I also read a couple of books, and then probably just whatever we accrued through normal means. So with all that out of the way, we have Vitality, and we've already gone through, Thick-Blooded. We've already gone through Creative Soul, next to Godliness. Marathon Runner was one of the ones that I said would probably be decent. Because I am usually sprinting a lot, I like to get off my horse and actually have a little bit better control pretty often, so that's nice to have. Next we have Red Mist. When your health drops below 25 health points during combat, you gain a +3 bonus on strength and agility for a time, and your stamina regenerates 4 times faster. So this one is only when you're below 25 health, which is, I mean, everything else about it is awesome, but that's makes it not quite as good. Now, Revenant is your health will gradually regenerate up to 50 health points. This effect does not apply if you are in combat or bleeding. Okay, I mean, this means if you almost die in a battle, you will actually very quickly get back up to at least half your health. I think we're going to take that. That seems very, very good. I'm not usually on super low health, but I still think that when you are, you won't have to go and find somewhere to sleep, so it'll be good just for that. Now for craftsmanship, we have Razor Sharp. We've already looked at this one, I believe. Well Fitted. Now this is probably one of the best single perks in the game, because armor and clothing that you repair yourself with the armorer's kit will make less noise when worn. Now what this basically means is if you repair or create, or actually I guess it's not if you create, but only if you repair your own equipment, then you will make less noise in that equipment. Now the effect lasts until the item's quality level drops. Now, item quality isn't the same thing as the health. If you see right here, this right here is the actual quality. And as you can see, it goes from gold, and then there's silver, and there's also a bronze. So what it's talking about is when that quality decrease happens. And I think that's if you just let the condition get too low or something. I forgot exactly how that works, but that is what that means. So this, to me, is still one of the best perks in the game. Unfortunately, it's not affecting our noise right now, but hopefully when we repair some of our equipment, it will. Like I said, one of the best perks in the game. So now we have drinking, and none of these are really too good. Like this one's for badges, for dice, which I barely even play dice. Barefoot, amazingly, when you're drunk, you make 20% less noise when moving indoors, and St. Vivian's Grace is less likely to be injured from falling. We're just going to take Barefoot. Neither of them are very good, but it's something, I suppose. And next up, we have Houndmaster. So we've already looked at Hunt and Search. Have we looked at Hellhound? If you have your dog with you, you will appear more threatening and tough. Yeah, this is for like intimidation and such. Bark. You've taught Mutt to create a ruckus and draw attention to himself. This can be handy, especially when you need to sneak somewhere unnoticed. You can get him to bark by selecting the relevant command under commands. He will start barking on the spot, so make yourself scarce quickly to pull off your ruse. That actually doesn't seem too bad. I'm trying to think how many situations this would actually be useful in, though. I mean, I guess if you really need to be stealthy in a particular mission, you can use him as a distraction, which would definitely be good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think, and I don't think this would be, like, super, super useful. Maybe, like, 1 or 2 times in the entire game. Now we have Dog's Best Friend. Strange dogs won't react to you by barking, just growling. This can come in handy, for instance, if you're trespassing in someone's yard, because the owner of the house might not even notice a growling dog. However, if you attack it, yeah, okay. So this is good for, like, another thieving playthrough, but we're not really going to be using that. Next is Hide and Scent. Mutt can sniff out enemies and other potential trouble at a much greater distance. This makes it easier to spot and avoid an ambush or other events during fast travel. Yeah, so it'll be basically just about good for fast travel, but I don't really have many issues with that, so I don't think that's going to be very good. And finally, we have Defender. In combat, Mutt will be tougher and will take 10% less damage. Alright, we'll take that. Next, we have Stealth. I think we've basically gone through most of these as well. Yeah, don't need that. Rodent, you'll make 25% less noise when you sneak indoors, and the door opening will be half as loud. Would be good if we were doing a lot of that. And finally, we have Weasel Boy. You'll make 35% less noise when sneaking outdoors. I think because we don't do a lot of sneaking, and I already have Bushmen, these two should work together pretty well. So if we need to do like stealth takeouts, these will be pretty good. Next up, we have Survival. And there's only 1 perk point we can use. We already looked at that one. We already looked at that one. Yeah, none of these are particularly good. So I guess we'll just try to get more gold, which I guess means this one. Although we basically never sell this stuff. But it is something. It's something, I suppose. Next, we have Swords. We will probably go with Precision Strike, I'm thinking. With a fully charged sword attack, your sword fighting skill will count 3 times higher, or count 3 higher. So your attack will not only be stronger, but it will also be harder to parry. That seems pretty good. Showtime, after performing a sword combo or a master strike, you instantly regain some of your stamina and can attack again. Or Tendon Slicer, each successful sword combo significantly reduces your opponent's ability and strength, making it harder for them to keep fighting and easier for you to defeat them. I think Precise Strike is actually probably the most simple. Of course, if I get good with all the combos and everything, we will probably eventually end up picking up Tendon Slicer, but I'm not very good with the combos, honestly. And we skipped over it, so here is Warfare. Against all odds, when fighting against superior numbers, you gain these bonuses to your skills. Hardened Veteran. In combat, your stamina will regenerate 10% faster. Yeah, we already looked at all of these ones. Ironclad. The weight of your armor you wear affects the speed of your movement and how much stamina sprinting depletes. Using this perk, your armor will weigh you down 20 pounds less, thus having a lesser effect on stamina. Neither the actual weight of your armor nor your carrying capacity will change, however. And finally, we have Unbreakable. If you are outnumbered in a fight, your stamina will recover 20% faster. I mean, I guess... none of these are really super, super good. I guess against all odds, just because this will be helpful if we are outnumbered at this point, I guess. And for our next skill, we have Unarmed. I think we looked at most of these as well. Yes. Yes. After executing a combo or master strike in unarmed combat, you immediately regain some stamina. Sting like a bee. After the first 30 seconds of a combat in which you are unarmed, your attacks will be 30% stronger, and your stamina will recover 30% faster. And then we have Battering Ram. If you successfully execute an unarmed combo, your opponent will be badly shaken and their stamina will recover slower. And Sandman, it'll generally be easier for you to knock out or to stealth kill somebody. We'll take that. We'll take... And we'll take, I guess... I mean, none of these are really very good either. I guess we'll just take battering ram and... Oh, okay, I thought we had one more here. What's our last... Okay, we missed one on Houndmaster. And we will probably just go with Bark. Might as well take it. Okay, so that's all of our perks, and I'm starting to wonder if our main issue with combat, because even with the sword it's been pretty easy, and it's just going to get easier as the game goes on. I'm wondering if it's actually all of the perks in combat that are actually doing it. So we may try to find a Lithian potion at some point, which will allow us to reset all of our perks, and then we'll try combat out with no perks whatsoever, and we'll see how that changes things. But I'm going to go ahead and start. Like I said, there is about a dozen tasks and or quests that we have left to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start some of those, and I will be back with you guys soon.
The other shepherd said you might need some help. Did you lose a sheep or something?
Aye, I did. It used to be a sheep would wander off and get lost in the woods sometimes, but now it's different. Now, several of them get lost all at once, and I never find them again. The last time was a few days ago.
Do you think wolves are behind it?
Well, that's what's so mysterious. I never found no wolf tracks.
I find it strange they'd just disappear.
You're not the only one. I found a pool of blood and a sheep's ear nearby, but no sign of the animals. It's almost like someone ate them whole, only they didn't like that ear.
Well, I'm a bit of an expert when it comes to finding lost sheep. I can help you.
Well, that'd be bloody nice of you. I can't even get a wink of sleep over it.
Where can I find that place with the blood?
Not far from here, over by the crossroads. Just please be careful. It could be a werewolf.
That wouldn't be good. I'm no monster slayer.
If it is a werewolf, just turn tail and come back. We'll get a group of fellas together and go and sort it out. Pitchforks, torches, holy water and all that. I just don't want to cause a panic before we know what we're dealing with.
So you're sending me in as bait?
You look like someone who doesn't scare easy and knows how to fight, unlike me. I reckon you can handle it.
All right then. But what if it turns out they're just ordinary wolves?
Then you can bring me their ears and I'll reward you.
A broken arrow. Could it be a werewolf hunt sheep with a bow? I wonder what would be able to track him down. Search.
Show your stuff. You're no match for us, fucker. Useless. Show what you're made of. Get ready to leave this life. Show your stuff. Show what you're made of. You're no match for us, fucker. Do it! Hey, fuck that! Mercy, spare me. I surrender. You wouldn't kill me, would you?
Give me everything you have, and I'll let you go.
All right, easy now. Just let me go and I'll give you everything. You promised to free me, now keep your word.
Ah, this must be Nathan's stolen sheep. This was no werewolf. Just some ordinary bandits. Well, I solved the mystery. I found the sheep.
Really? Don't keep me in suspense. Tell me what happened.
There were some bandits camping in the forest. Ordinary men. No werewolves.
Bloody hell. Why didn't I think of that? What did you do with them? I hope they'll leave me alone now.
I just wanted to talk, but they wouldn't listen to reason. So I cut them down.
Christ almighty. Slaughtering folks over a few sheep. Though I reckon if I lost any more sheep, then folks from the village would kill me.
Well, they could have just left. Or stopped stealing.
Aye, I suppose you're right. You deserve a reward anyway. Here it is. Enjoy it in good health.
Thanks.
Oh, and if you want to sell those ears to someone, the hunter will buy them.
What'll it be this fine morning? It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semine, and they never came back.
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up, and especially the cargo. Go to Semine and find out what the bloody hell happened.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone? I could have a look along the way. Maybe their cart broke down or something.
There's only one road to Semine that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Truskovitz, and then to the south. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semine.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franzi, what can you tell me about them?
Can't tell you much. They're wandering laborers. I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long, but these days I can use all the help I can get.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers. And I can't say that about everyone.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semine wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger on young Semine's crossbow. And some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal, all sorts of things. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right. I'll get right on it then.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk, kick their asses for me.
Gladly. I'll kick some sobriety into them.
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You alright there, laddie?
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Semine is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck what you frae. You speak our language, do you not?
Well, Yurko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that. I'll get you.
Stop biting! Beating him!
I'm all yours. Come on. Oh, you wee bastard!
The devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that way?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
We'll be needing a dozen geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yetchin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yurko is shit-faced, and your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir.
So, lad, you going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No, that's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle. So, do you know what to do? Or have you got any more questions?
Actually, there is something I'd like to ask about. This Yurko and his mates, who are they?
They're Lord Samin's kin. They're fine as long as they don't get too much booze inside them.
Only they're from Moravia, so they're never far from the booze.
But what can I tell you, lad? Each to himself. Besides, they stick with the family when push comes to shove. And you can't say that about everyone.
And you, sir? What is it you do?
Well, son, I wonder if I haven't made a mistake about you. If you haven't figured me out by now, you can't be very bright.
No, I just meant, what exactly is it you do for Lord Semin? And your name isn't exactly very common.
I'm the captain here, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you what a captain does. As for my name, it's a nickname Lord Samin's grandpa gave me. May he rest in peace. When I joined his service as a young fella, I took my gnarly club with me. Wouldn't use anything else. I was used to it. And more than once helped me to, well, win an argument. I broke many a hard skull with it. And it's still in one piece. We've been together so long, we even share the same name.
You're lucky you didn't turn out to be Captain Knob.
Or Captain Headcracker. You're right.
We should probably get going.
My thoughts exactly. Off to the courtyard, then.
I'm ready to set out, sir.
All right. Stay close to us and don't go wandering off.
As you say, sir.
Where will we start searching, sir?
If they drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through Troskovitz.
Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Troskovitz ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, as soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry?
It was nothing. Just a bit of a friendly brawl. They clearly had a skinful. I can understand it.
Well, I've sure as hell got no understanding for it. I hope they didn't hurt you.
Young Henry here gave Yurko a nice hammering.
Oh, that's no surprise. The fella can hardly stand upright most of the time.
You'd have to get up early to catch them sober. But they wasn't that drunk as to give Henry an easy fight.
Look here, lad. If you're such a champion, I'm sure you'd accept the challenge of an old man like myself.
It would be an honor, sir.
Excellent. Not afraid, eh? That's what I like to see. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
All right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here what's what.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Sameen. It'll be an honorable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on, Mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
What weapon will you give me?
What would you like?
Sword?
Don't get ahead of yourself, laddie. A sword belongs in noble hands. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your arse into the pen.
So, young'un, are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
I'm all yours! Oh, that's a lot of blood.
Come here.
This should stop it.
What do you say, son?
Whew. You really gave me the runaround.
I'm no spring chicken, but I'm as spry as ever.
God's truth, sir. You didn't disgrace yourself, but I can see the young'un has spirit. Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
And since you won, I've got something else for you as well. My shield.
Isn't that a bit too much, Gnarly?
Sir, my left shoulder's fucked anyway. I can't carry no shield.
True enough.
Thank you.
I needed that. It's good to stretch the limbs every now and again. And you're pretty handy, youngster. You should come to the courtyard, and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you step foot outside the village. But do come, Henry. We've got a nice arena in Sameen. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein, it's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky.
I'm from Silver Skalitz, sir.
Aha! Now I understand why you're here. You're not the first one to flee here from the war.
I don't flee from a fight, sir. I have work here, and a lot of scores to settle.
You want to get revenge for what happened back home? That usually doesn't end well. You'd be better advised to find yourself a well-built girl, build a cottage, and visit the church and the tavern in turn. There's no helping a dead anyway.
That's nice advice, sir. Only women will tie you down, lad. Better to go and see a bit of the world. You're doing the right thing.
Watch out, damn it!
So, we're in Troskowitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
About who? Since you're not here, how could I speak of you?
That's what I like to hear. Now run along.
Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semine on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know?
It seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding, Master Bailiff.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all. Although not everyone sees eye to eye with me. Lord Semine would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all the decisions up to him. Who's invited, what there'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything. It's not like I have a burning desire to deal with it, but if I'm going to pay for it...
I understand. But isn't it just that the groom's family is more concerned about these things?
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's because Lord Semine is a noble and I'm just a commoner. Only I've got coin. While he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that piddling estate of his.
You ought to calm down, Master Bailiff. That kind of talk can stir things up.
You're right, of course. It just makes me mad, though.
I understand. Do you know anything about Radovan's hired hands?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind if they never turned up again.
Why's that?
Well, they might look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, and Radovan praises them, but I know people. That pair have mischief in their eyes. I can tell.
That'll be all. Thanks.
Well then, young man, how did it go?
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apollonia.
So to Yichin? The bastards! And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum. Let's hurry. To Yichin!
Sir, I could send a message to the Yichin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
Won't you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
I will. Praise the Lord Jesus Christ. If I have to choose between riding to Yitchin and listening to Dorothy's endless fussing, I'll take Yitchin any time. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way, the Three Cats. We can spend the night there.
I remember that place, but I'm not sure, sir, if they'll let the two of us set foot inside the door.
Oh, gnarly, that was 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled. They might not have gone to Yitchin. They could have turned off somewhere. Or something could have happened. They might have been ambushed, maybe.
Will you give over with that? I'll bet my braves they weren't ambushed. More likely we'll find them boozing at the Three Cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go, then. So, St. Anthony, which way now?
While you're praying to the patron saint of lost things, go and have a look along the road, Gnarly. And you, Henry, have a look to the left.
All right, sir. But don't forget, my eyesight ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what we have the youngster for, isn't it? Off you go.
A sack of charcoal? That could have fallen off the cart.
You found anything, lad?
There's a sack of charcoal lying in the ditch to the left of the road. The bailiff said they were driving like the devil, so maybe it fell from the cart.
Oh, that makes sense. To the left it is, then. Gnarly! Back here!
We're getting close. I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have the cart back in no time.
I just hope we find the horses, too. Yarmilka here ain't the youngest, and I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Kuttenberg while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad?
That's the change in the economical situation, sir. The burghers have more rights, and they make smart use of them. They put their coin to work for them. They've got shops, baths, inns, mills, while the nobles sit waiting until Jack from Backwater Hamlet brings them 3 groschen in taxes on St. Gallus's Day.
You're right there. Only Jack hasn't even got 3 groschen these days. None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one, not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
Oh, hold up. This is strange. I don't see any cart tracks. What do you reckon, Gnarly?
I'm blind as a mole, sir. But it's all peculiar right enough. Where the hell could that cart have vanished to?
Well, that's just it. They had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir.
The blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
Well, now, here we have it. The blacksmith's cart.
Someone went to a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Of course the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. We'll carry on, but on foot. My old young milker would only break a leg there. And keep a sharp lookout. Something stinks here.
I told you, they got ambushed by them bastards that's on the rampage around here, sir.
Oh, be quiet. We still can't be sure of anything.
Ah, Apollonia. I spent a lot of time running around here as a young lad.
Oh, not me. This place always gave me the shivers.
God's truth, I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my legs stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning that the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Sameen was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why's that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the ropemaker's wife as a nanny when you were little. Now, she had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins, and white ladies. Every night, we'd gather by the hearth. The old woman would sit at her spinning wheel telling stories. I'll tell you, Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. But when that blind old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the window, and the whirring of the
Listen.
Yeah, I hear it.
There's somebody there, sure enough.
Let's get closer. What do we do now? I heard more than two voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slatigo used to come make a fire here and jump over it. And so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly, but I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here. So what's that got to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
Sure, sir. With a bit of luck, there might be some girls there, too.
I could do without girls with voices like that. Now get going.
Ordained, you ignoramus. For fuck's sake, you was never ordained, Honza.
I was. Stumbled in it. In the forest chapel by Budera.
Like
Those
fuck he
definitely aren't
ordained
the
you.
blacksmith's hands.
Just 'cause old Stumble poured some pond water on your head in the woods don't mean a damn thing.
So how's it look, Sonny? How many?
I saw 3. And they don't look like Radovan's hands.
And what about my goods?
I didn't see them. It looked more like a patrol. I reckon there might be more of them hereabouts.
Seems we can't avoid a fight. I hope you're ready, Henry.
Sure am, sir.
I wouldn't worry about Henry, sir. He showed us mettle and training. So, how are we gonna do it? Do you just want to charge them, sir?
What else do you suggest?
Someone could go back up top and try to take one of them down with an arrow before we charge them. There's a good view of the camp from up there.
Good idea, Henry. And I see you're equipped for it, too. Climb up top, and as soon as you shoot the first time, we'll charge them. And make sure you don't hit one of us.
Right you are, Captain.
Light up in the dark.
Leave him be, Honza.
I'll show you.
Damn it, there's one more! You'll be fucking sorry! And it's done. Hey!
Oh, this day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't over yet, sir. Your goods ain't here. And none of them bastards look like the blacksmith's hands. Am I right, Henry?
Hard to say. I've never actually seen them. But I don't think it was them.
Me neither. But right past that peak is another good camping spot.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But I don't want to go assuming the worst. We might have just run into them bandits by chance.
Yeah, well, you were right, as always. Let's go, then. Are you ready, Henry?
I am. Let's go.
I thought we had everything clear, Venser. You tried to fuck with me, so until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked. We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Make no difference to me, Venser. You vouched for the crooked fucker. So now, it's on you. Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Bastards. You can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
Like that time at the Shani, sir?
Yes, exactly.
Only there was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave, you get to try out that new plaything of yours.
Ahem, gentlemen, I'm obliged to you for looking after my goods, but I'll take them back now. Just hand them over, and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Samin, sir. Well, of course you can have everything back. As long as you ask nicely, eh? Well, how about we do things differently? You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat. I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
What are you gaping at? At them!
At them with you. Hammer them, men.
You should have fucking stayed out of it. What do you want?
I'll rip your ass open.
My head!
No, you don't.
You want to...
We'll kick your asses.
Nice strike! Bleeding, fucker! Die, you swine!
What now?
One of them bastards fled into the rocks. Chase him down and bring him back.
Did you see which way he went?
No, I had other things on my hands. Besides, you're the one who's supposed to keep watch.
But they'd taken him captive. What use would he be to us?
Are you deaf? Didn't you hear what they said? They took him captive because he wanted to drive off with the load. They fucked over Radovan, fucked over his lordship, and wanted to fuck over that bandit too. They were in cahoots. Only the thief wanted to rob the thieves.
Uh-huh.
And they deserve the same punishment, if not more.
And what punishment can he expect? Maybe he'd surrender to me if I could promise him something.
Now listen up, Henry. We don't promise nothing to no scum. Never. He'll most likely get the rope. And if you promise him anything else, you'll be lying. Don't forget, a man's word of honor is what separates a noble from a robber.
I'll go and track him then.
Great.
Hurry!
I won't get far like this.
I've got you now, Venser. You've nowhere to run to. Yield.
Well, why the fuck would I? It's just you against me. Besides, if I do yield, it's the rope for me anyway.
One-on-one, yeah. But it must be clear to you that you're no match for me. Even if the noose is waiting for you, it's still a more pleasant death than getting your head smashed in with a rock. And believe me, I'll do it if there's no other way.
Fuck! All right, I'll come with you. But you'll put a word in for me.
I might. As long as you don't try anything.
Promise me.
I won't promise you anything. Now, come on. I've got a prisoner for you, sir.
Excellent. It all worked out quite well in the end. Gnarly will take care of this scum.
What about Gules?
He caught a few good hits, but he's alive. We'll take him with us. I need to have a strong word with him. You did a good job, youngster. You've got heart. And so you don't say I had you clambering over these rocks for nothing. Here's something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me, you deserved it. And now, let's get that accursed cart back to Samin. Want a ride? We'll go via Troskovitz. We can drop you off there, and you won't have far to Tarkov. You ought to report back to Radovan as soon as possible about what happened with these hands.
A ride would be great. My legs are sore.
Wait until you're my age. Well, let's get going.
I didn't do nothing wrong, I swear. It's all Venser's fault. It was him who said we'll sell the cart to Gills.
It weren't like that at all. We shook on it. But on the way, you had the idea we'd keep it.
What? That ain't true.
Leave it out, you two. One way or another, you wanted to fuck me over. Doesn't matter whose idea it was.
A thief robbing a thief? What a world.
I'm still a nobleman, if you don't mind. So I'm not a thief. I'm a robber baron.
A thief's a thief.
Where are you taking us?
To Samin, where his lordship will hear you out and decide what to do with you.
I hope you realize you can't just execute me.
It depends. By rights, I should send a plea to some court to decide if we can behead you. But in these shitty times, nobody will give a toss. Parchment's dear, and ink ain't free either. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd happily risk it and lop your head off without permission.
I see how the law is respected here.
Ha! Are you yanking my bizzle? You're a fine one to talk about law.
And what will happen to us?
What do you think? If they'll execute a nobleman, they won't think twice about a hired hand or two.
You never know, Henry. Lord Samin is merciful. Maybe this whimpering will soften his heart.
Oh, I'm not whimpering. I'm just trying to tell you how it was.
Bollocks! You're full of shit. Don't believe a word he says, Captain.
Samin might be merciful, but whether he'll be in the mood for this, I can't say.
I'm innocent. I swear I'm a my soul.
Is that supposed to soften my heart? Pah! Every Manjikur I dragged to the gallows swore on his mother. Nobody with any decency would risk his mother's immortal soul, even if he was as pure as the driven snow. But this bastard doesn't think twice about his soul. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Captain's right. Only the lowest of the low swears on his mother.
That's right. You always were a piece of shit, Francie. No scruples.
Well, ain't it grand to have you here to explain everything? Now shut your gobs, the three of you. Don't want you poisoning the air with the shit you spout. Right, we're in Troskovitz. This is where you get off, Henry.
Thanks a lot, Captain.
Don't forget to go and tell Radovan what happened, so he can stop worrying.
Will do. So, job done. The cart was found and driven to Lord Samin's courtyard.
Whew. That's a relief. And what happened to that pair of idiots?
It turned out they tried to rob you.
Oh. They did they?
Aye. They plotted with some robber baron called Gules and brought the cart to him.
The bastards. I should have realized they were a bit too keen on work. And how did you get the cart back?
Well, I went to Semine, and they were wondering there too where the wagon got to. So we rode out to look for it. Me, Lord Semine, and his captain, Gnarly.
Well, God's nails. And the three of you tracked them down? The whole band?
That's right. They were hiding in Apollonia, along with the carts and the goods.
Indeed. Where else? The bastards. And what about my hands?
I'm not sure. Lord Semine took them and Gules to his courtyard. We'll see how he deals with them.
I'd know what to do with them.
Don't worry. I don't think Lord Semine will let them off lightly.
Anyway, the main thing is the cart turned up. I'd be in a right mess if it didn't.
No doubt.
And you've earned a reward for your trouble. I've got just the thing for you. Some mercenary once had his cuirass repaired here, but never came back for it. Who knows what happened to him? So now it's yours. It's been through a bit, but it'll still serve for a while.
Thanks. It'll come in handy. And have you got another job for me?
Young Lord Semine's wedding is coming up, and it's got my head spinning. Look, you must have seen Agnes, the bailiff's daughter, when you were in Truskovitz. What do you think of her?
I haven't seen Agnes. Is she pretty?
Pretty doesn't do her justice. She's a beauty. But she's got such a sharp tongue on her that I don't envy older at all. And how about you, lad? Have you got some lass waiting in Sasau?
Yeah. And I hope she'll wait. Her name's Teresa. Her uncle owns a mill on the river in Ratai.
A girl from the mill? You want to watch out for them types. You might get caught up in devilry, lad. A wedding's a serious business. You're not just getting a bride, but a whole family. So you have to show them you're a man who's worth it. All the more so when you're noble-born. Old Semine wants a special sword forged for his son's wedding present.
Excellent. So what are we waiting for? Should we get to work?
Hold your horses. It can't be any old steel. This has to be a first-class job.
A blade of first-class steel?
That's right. And that's just the problem.
Ah, I see. We don't have any welded steel for that kind of sword, do we?
God's nails. You really know your stuff, youngster. And you're right. We don't have the steel for a strong sword that won't break.
I'd like to know where you're going to get your hands on some welded steel.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose, living in Apollonia.
And he can pray for us?
God's nails, let me finish talking. The word is, he was fighting heathens years ago in faraway Andalusia, and folks say they saw this interesting broken sword in his hut. From the description, it seems our peculiar hermit has a real Toledo blade.
Welded Spanish steel? There's nothing better for a sword.
See now? You do understand. But there's a catch.
Naturally.
They say that Ambrose the Hermit has changed a lot recently. People from far and wide used to go to him for remedies and blessings. But now he won't see no one. I even heard he made a pact with the devil. And there have been other strange goings-on.
What strange goings-on?
I heard something in the tavern about some apparition. But that's all I know.
With the devil? Why would the hermit make a pact with the devil?
No idea. It might just be old wives' tales.
Where can I find the hermit?
Do I look like someone who goes to a hermit for advice? I know he has a hut somewhere in Apollonia. But you'll have to ask the Truskovitz womenfolk if you want to know more.
Right. I'll try to find out more about the hermit's sword. But in return, you'll get me invited to Semine's wedding.
If it means so much to you, why not? Come and see Betty from the Truskovitz Tavern. She knows all the gossip. She'll definitely tell you more about the hermit. But Henry, If there's any truth in that pact with the devil, don't get caught up in it. The best sword in the world isn't worth eternal damnation.
Good day to you. What do you want from me?
Lord Semine, what will happen with that robber from Apollonia now that we've captured him?
You mean Gules? You might find it hard to believe, Henry, but the man is of noble birth. That means I can't simply lock him up or, God forbid, execute him. So I took him into my service.
Was that wise, sir? Are you certain you can trust him?
No. That's why he has to prove himself.
How?
It looks like we didn't wipe out all the bandits who were pillaging with him. So his first task will be to take care of what's left of his own band.
Welcome. What can I do for you?
Have you already taken care of your band?
Don't you start with that too.
So you didn't.
After you attacked me in Apollonia? I'm so battered I can hardly wipe my own arse. Old man Semine will just have to be a bit more patient.
What if I helped you?
Well, well. Someone fancies himself.
I can handle a few footpads.
These aren't any ordinary footpads. They're a bunch of the most depraved whoresons I've ever met. Would you dare to take them on?
Yeah. Just tell me what I need to do.
So listen up. From what I've heard, there's another 4 of those scum roaming the countryside. I'd bet my boots that a few more will hitch up with them in time, so it won't be easy. You can start with Canker.
Canker? Interesting name. Why is he called that?
He already had that name when he joined us. I reckon they started calling him that on account of how he's rotten to the core.
If you say so.
Hey, don't be cheeky, youngster.
Where can I find him?
I don't know. I only know that he and his band were ambushing travelers on the road from Troskovitz to the Nabarkov mill.
So how do you want to find him then?
Easy. I'd wait for him to find me. With a little luck, he'll ambush you in one of those places too. Or one of his people will.
You don't have a better idea?
What did you expect? That I'd search the whole forest for him? Go ahead and try and find him that way if you like. But I think you're more likely to roll straight 6s and dice.
What do you know about Canker?
He likes to disguise himself as a monk and ambush travelers. He looks convincing in a robe. But otherwise, he's an awful heathen. Always drunk. Just like the rest of his band.
That could be useful.
Definitely. If you get lucky.
What do you know about his band?
Not much. We've never seen them all together, so I can't even tell you how many of them there are. But there won't be many. Canker has never dared tackle anything too big. Usually just some poor souls on their travels.
That's enough for me.
Well, good luck, lad. Oh, and I almost forgot. When you're done, bring me Canker's mace. As proof.
Why? You don't trust me?
Why should I?
Sick!
You're no match for us, fucker!
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker!
I'm just getting warmed up, you shit.
You're in for an arse kicking, you piece of shit! Attack! Don't just stand there, come on!
Pray for a quick death, you bastard. Hurry up, you idiot!
Didn't expect that, you bastard! Got him!
That's a lot of blood.
I'll help you!
Show your stuff!
Slow! Suck my cock!
Do it! Follow me!
Mercy! Alert! Alert!
What is it you need? Greetings. How can I help?
I took care of Canker.
Seriously? So you brought me his mace like I told you to?
Of course. Here you go.
Yeah, that's it. Canker's best mate. Just as filthy and slimy as its owner. Good job, Henry. Here you go. It's not much, but I won't get any more than that out of old Sameen for the job.
Would you mind if I kept the mace?
Ugh, if you've got the stomach for it.
Thanks. What now?
Hold your horses, lad. Those bastards have to be tracked down. Give me some time.
Fine. I'll stop by later.
It was good to see you, my friend.
Okay, so that is that. Now, with that quest, the trick is basically to use your crossbow and try to kite those guys as much as possible. Muck gets his butt whooped pretty quickly, so he's not too much of a help, and they are quite well armored and everything, so it can be pretty difficult, but it is doable if you just make good use of your ranged weapons and everything like that. So that is going to be it for this episode. We got 4 more perk points to use in the beginning of the next episode, and yeah, look at that. Wow, poor Muddy's all totally bloody, and so are we, I'm sure. Let's take a look. That doesn't show on there. Actually, it doesn't look like we're doing too bad, surprisingly. But in the next episode, we will continue on with these last quests, side quests for the Trotsky region, and then we will head over to the wedding, I'm sure, in the next couple of episodes. So, as always, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.